Yo, yo, what up, my photoners?
Photoners?
Photoners.
I don't think we have such abilities, Gesti.
You're right, too. Never mind. God damn it. I messed that one up.
We're arcs. We're arcs.
We're arcs.
Oh, man.
All right.
So we did have an episode after all.
Yeah. Talk about surprise.
Yeah. Anyways, this is going to be a little bit of a continuation from what we did last week, which was basically talking about episode 5 content cut. Well, it's actually even more than episode 5 probably at this point now. But yeah, we got some really cool information from some sources that I don't think I'm qualified to say. But, we're just going to tell you anyways because we're not the greatest people at keeping secrets. All right. So basically, the whole premise of it, just as last episode, is basically just we have information from SEGA about things that were cut from episode 5 and more. And we're just going to talk about it. And this is a continuation of what we talked about last week, so...
Yeah.
Let's see what we have this week. Oh yeah, actually even before that, Gesti, how's your experience with Ultimate Vopar been, actually?
I mean, it feels about the same as every other Ultimate Quest, though it's in one of my favorite areas now, so I'm happy for that.
Yeah, same. And even before that, we actually also have some of the... we got to experience some of the bosses in Beach Wars too, so it was pretty cool. It feels a lot more chaotic though, only because the general type of mobs that are there, but it's manageable. That and also I realized that we actually said Ultimate, not UH. It's not Ultimate Vopar, okay? It's actually UH Vopar. There's a big difference. But yeah, it's Ultra Hard Vopar. For clarification, that is.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy it. Well,
I enjoy it too.
Suppose it's now time for us to get into the hot takes. What do you have this time, Gesti?
Alright. So we were talking about the changes in the Falls EQs. And we're going to continue that theme today. So, Apprentice EQ. Now, it's known through interviews that it was originally supposed to be a mining-based quest. It's based, rather, off an original idea they had for the mining-based quest. However, before that, it was actually going to be a Buster quest. Yep.
Like a proper Buster quest with Apprentice as the castle?
Like a proper Buster quest with Apprentice.
That sounds...
Which would have been really similar to TD, actually, which is probably why they decided...
I don't know why, but that just sounds really anticlimactic.
This might be one of the reasons why they went with the original idea. The original idea, which was going back to their concept for mining-based demise. The only big change between the two, which should be obvious, is the Omega Apprentice fight at the end of that, because in the mining-based idea they had, you just got to the cannon, that was it. There wouldn't be a fight afterwards.
Right.
But for them, that'd be anticlimactic, so they added the Omega Apprentice fight afterwards.
I see. So basically, you're saying that the Omega Apprentice EQ that we got in episode 5 was actually reviving cut content.
Yeah.
Huh. That's actually pretty cool. That actually is pretty cool.
Yeah, it did.
Imagine, though, if we actually had that EQ back in episode 3 or something like that. That'll be pretty cool, I think, too.
Yeah, that would have been pretty interesting.
I wonder how we actually got from the idea of actually defending mining bases to literally defending the payload. Totally not Overwatch.
That's true. Right, this one is... It's kind of obvious it could have been a thing that happened, but basically the Dark Lost Persona battle, another idea that was had involving the battles was to have each player in their Dark Blast forms for the different phases, and the last phase being on foot.
That actually doesn't sound entirely like a bad idea, I'll be honest.
It's an interesting idea.
But yeah, I think SEGA did make the right call though, that players would probably enjoy it a lot more, where they can actually just be on foot the entire time.
Yeah, I think the other thing is we already had a Dark Blast battle on the EQ before.
Right.
So it would have been kind of weird to have it again, even though it would have been different forms.
Interesting concepts, interesting ideas. But yeah, it's kind of a hard choice if you're really SEGA, you had to really think of how the players would receive the EQs and then had the replayability of actually, always being in the Dark Blast form, and also thinking about new players too who might not have the Dark Blast experience up.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be super strong Dark Blasts. Like, I know that a lot of people had that problem with Apprentice fight, the Omega Apprentice fight, in which they didn't help compensate some stats, but it's not the best.
Yeah, definitely.
If it was something, for example, like an AIS or so, it would still be okay because everything is kind of like balanced and set in place.
Yeah.
But this just isn't it.
No, it is not.
But really cool in concept. I approve of this one. It would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Moving on to other ideas from followers. That's the theme of this episode at this rate. Omega Falls Double actually had a mechanic similar to Panic, but a bit different now.
Oh.
Instead of it being a panic that, like, pretty much, well, it wasn't even a panic actually, just a move. But instead of you just, panic, you had to probably the controls that always swap around.
Yeah.
Well, instead, the idea would be to flip the arena just completely upside down.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, your not your UI would still be on the same side, but yeah, your camera would pretty much be flipped upside down.
That sounds very crazy.
The other part of that is also, because there's more, your character's PAs would also be scrambled.
Wait, so basically when you use a PA, it comes out with random PAs?
Yeah, that was an idea that they had.
It actually sounds insane.
And while the idea didn't even make a Dark Falls persona, I guess the flip screen kind of did, because Double goes upside down now.
Right.
I think that might have been a callback to that content right there, but yeah.
They did have some elements in there. Oh my goodness. When you said that again, I was just sitting here thinking about how that could have been. And in my mind is just like, whoa, what?
Oh yeah.
That would have been so stupidly fun though, I think. But it's going to be more frustrating than fun, honestly. I'm glad they cut that one.
Alright, and then moving more, this one's like early stages. But originally, Dark Falls Persona, the concept for that it was still going to be Dark Falls Persona, but the form would be, if you play Phantasy Star 4, you would know Crown Dark was the final boss, etc. It had a second form, which did not make it into
oh dear
Episode 3's final form. Well, Episode 3's one was completely original looking anyways. But Dark Falls Persona's form originally was going to be a homage to Profound Darkness' second form in Phantasy Star 4.
Ah.
However, the design was being constantly changed as they started thinking ideas of adding the other Falls into the final battle, and then pretty much molded it into what we have now.
It's actually really interesting.
Which is
honestly, like, from looking at what we talked about last week as well, I'm just here thinking that, wow, they probably, honestly, in hindsight, should not have cut a lot of references or homage to some of the older ones, like older Phantasy Star games, because I know a lot of people are huge like OG Phantasy Star fans who would love to see all these connections to the older games,
Yeah.
It's just like, say, Pokemon games where, we start off in a new region, right? And then when you see Pokemon from the previous regions that you've played a previous game before, you get this feel of nostalgia and you're like, hey, it's that fire-breathing chicken I liked to use back then. I think that could have been really cool.
Yeah.
In which I hope they do more of, honestly. I genuinely hope they do way more of.
I do too. That'd be really nice. Now this next one's a pretty big one. It's still boss related this time, but it's not the Dark Falls boss. It's the dragon.
Oh?
Yamada dragon.
Yamada?
So originally, this one, it was actually not going to be a dragon.
I like the sound of that already.
Oh yeah. It was originally supposed to be a variation of oh god, how do you pronounce this? Guy Laguia. I always never know how to pronounce this word.
What?
Guy Laguia. It was a boss from Phantasy Star 4 as well. It was a weird looking, it was kind of looked like a giant bug with wings.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing originally you were supposed to use mounts to chase after it.
Oh.
Because the reason why they changed it was due to the removal amounts.
Oh, that we talked about last week. Okay, right. Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense in my head. I mean, I feel like I just had a revelation. That's cool though. But then, how do we come from literally a bug to a lizard?
Well, I guess in that case, it's because they wanted to keep the theme of Phantasy Star 1 at that point. So they used the Final Fantasy 1 Star Boss. Fantasy Star. They used the Phantasy Star 1 boss in the game.
Was Phantasy Star originally really that medieval kind of fantasy theme?
Yeah, it was weird. It was medieval, but there was still like technology. It was still sci-fi,
Right.
but it was
Fantasy medieval.
fancy medieval. There you go. That's the right word.
Just like every isekai ever.
Pretty much. Yeah, that would be for the cut content.
We actually covered just about everything we know. Wow, that's actually really interesting. Now that we actually heard all of this now, what do you all think about all the cut content? Would it be cool to have all the cut content actually come back? Or how do you think the game would be today if we actually did not have all those cut content? How do you feel, Gesti?
And what I feel if we actually did not have that cut content?
Yeah, as in like if we actually did not cut the content.
Oh, it would have been pretty interesting. For some things. Other things I think I prefer to stay away from.
Yeah, definitely. There are some nice give and take kind of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know in the comments or on Discord or on anything. Just like ping Gesti and be like, "Hey Gesti, notice me senpai. I have a comment for the
Don't do that because you know they're gonna all ping me and I'm gonna be like, what are all these pings for?
Yeah, but you never check them anyways.
I know, but I'm gonna see like a big number and I'm gonna be like, what's going on here?
See, Gesti, this is part of my plan, okay? This is literally incentive for you to check Discord.
Oh man. That actually might work.
Yeah. That actually might work. So we'll see how that goes. No, but for real though, please respect Gesti and don't just ping him like all the time.
Nah man, ping me as much as you want. I just might not respond.
Well, you heard the man. I'm not gonna debut. Like, I'm not gonna say anything about that. I'm not gonna like. Go ahead. He dared you.
Yeah, I dared you. Go ahead. Ping me to death. I'm gonna regret this so much, but
We'll see what happens. Hopefully, with enough pings, we'll have a continuation of whatever next episode of Lounge would be. All right. With that said, we hope you enjoyed all this stuff about the content cut. Hopefully, we'll have some more original content next week. I don't know though because I can't really say, but
hey, we never know.
Definitely. But what we know is hopefully we'll have an episode.
All right,
everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you all enjoyed the episode and hearing Gesti's sexy voice again.
Bye.
Oh.
I'm going now.
All right. Have a good day, everyone. Have a great week. Take care and don't forget to smile.
Take care.